Welcome to the Cryptosphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Friday, February 5th. I wasn't actually able to make a video for you yesterday, but I was able to steal away for a little while to make a video for you this evening. And we got some stuff to talk about in the market. Some cool stuff, actually. What we don't realize, we who are in the crypto game, every day I become more and more aware of the fact that if you are in the crypto game right now, you are an early adopter. It's so easy for us to think, man, we missed the boat. But if you are in the crypto game right now, you are an early adopter. Everywhere I go, I meet people who still have not even heard of cryptocurrency, who don't even know what it is. And what we don't realize, because, the crypto community seems so vast to us, but it is a very small percentage of the world's population. The reason why we're able to get into assets like Cardano right now for 53 cents, when by the end of the year, you're talking about a $10 Cardano at least, I believe. But the reason why we're able to buy it for 50 cents, the reason we're able to buy Theta token for $2.26, tfuel for $3 or 3 cents, 3.4 cents, the reason it's so cheap, why Litecoin's only $160, why Bitcoin Cash is only $470, and I mean that. We broke out of this bullish triangle, and my target here is $699 in the next 4 to 6 weeks, I believe. The reason why we have such a tremendous opportunity here is because cryptocurrency is still so inaccessible. And this is the simple point I wanted to communicate to you today. That when you have an asset with strong fundamentals that is largely inaccessible, that equals opportunity. The opportunity of a lifetime is found in an asset with strong fundamentals but low accessibility. I'll give you an example. So my friend Crypto John, he's got a channel called The Crypto Journey. I'll share it as a link in the description below. I actually interviewed him last week on my channel. He's the guy that got me into crypto. So he started telling me about crypto back in 2013, and I blew him off. And he just kept bringing it back up and bringing it back up. You should buy some Bitcoin. And I'm like, man, get out, man, miss me with all that nonsense. I'm not interested. What is it? Is this digital currency? Digital currency, I don't want no digital coin. It's like, well, I really think you should buy some. It's only about $150 for a digital coin. Man, just miss me with all that nonsense. And I would get so frustrated that he just kept bringing it up, and just very gently, very patiently. I didn't take notice until mid-2017 when Bitcoin was I think it had touched $5,000 for the first time. And I remember thinking, if only I would have listened to John 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when he first started telling me about this stuff. I could have bought this for $150. And I started to have this regret as I started thinking through the scenario of what could have been, what I could have done. Can I say to you that regret is unprofitable? Regret is completely unprofitable. It will do nothing for you. And secondly, regret, you will always look back on something that happens in this crypto game and think, if only I would have done this, or if only I would not have done that. You got to get over it quickly. You just got to let that stuff go. But even John, he said actually in his last video on the Crypto Journey, he said he thought about buying Bitcoin in 2012, but the process was too complicated. He said, I had to fax my ID and there was this, to submit this paperwork, and it was this complicated process. And he just said, forget it. And he walked away. And he looks back on that and says, I wish I would have followed through. I wish I would have jumped through the hoops. Why? Because what's the payoff? You get to buy Bitcoin for $50, and now Bitcoin is trading for $39,455. So if you could go back in time, you would jump through the hoops, right? So when we look at tfuel, for instance, theta token, assets that I think are going to explode this year and in the years to come, amazing. And when I talk about, the possibility of a $40 theta token or an $80 theta token or even a $100 theta token or a $1 tfuel, the comment that I get most from people is, where do you buy that junk? How do you get it? Why? Because it's so complicated. And I always tell people things like, well, there's simpleswap.io, there's the C4C exchange, crazyforcryptos.com, I think it is, /exchange. That's Digital Dave's crypto exchange. There's a broker that I use in Australia called Caleb and Brown, and they have access to everything there. But you've got to fill out an application online and submit your ID and go through verification. I mean, it's the same stuff you go through when you sign up for a Binance account or a Coinbase account, where they have to verify your identity and all this stuff. And it's complicated. You can't just click a button and buy the asset. But that's why it's so cheap, because it's so inaccessible at the moment. What we don't realize is that the moment accessibility catches up with the fundamentals of this junk, it's going to go crazy, and you're going to look back and say, I'm so glad I jumped through those hoops. I mean, and especially these exchanges where, have you ever lost your phone and then lost access to two-factor authentication, and then you had to contact these exchanges to try to get them to turn off 2FA on your account so that you can get back in, and then they're asking you to send them a picture of your ID, the front, the back of it, a picture of you holding your ID with a piece of paper written saying, my name is so-and-so, so-and-so, and today is February 5th, and here's my ID, and I'm trying to get into my account. And then you got to send them a blood sample, a semen sample, and a stool sample. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's like the hoops that we have to jump through right now are just insane. But that is why this stuff is so cheap. That is why, we are early adopters in this game. And early adopters we don't just get to reap the benefits, we also have to deal with the problems associated with being in the game so early. The accessibility is not there yet, and that is a plus for us. Because imagine what's going to happen the moment theta shows up on Coinbase. See, people talk about XRP all the time, and they go, how's it going to explode when nobody can buy it in the United States of America and blah, 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 blah. What you're saying is that it's inaccessible, not realizing that that's why it's a gift to us. The inaccessibility of it, when you're talking about XRP, you're talking about an asset that meets both of those criterion perfectly. Strong fundamentals plus highly inaccessible in the United States of America. I mean, where are people buying theta token? How did it explode? I was buying it for 69 cents back over here in December, early December. I think I was buying it in late November for 69 cents. And now it's $2.28. How did it explode? You can't buy it on Coinbase, Binance.us. It's highly inaccessible. You got to search for it. You got to seek it, and then you'll find it when you search for it with all of your heart. The beautiful thing is that when you hold something inaccessible, when you seek it out and you find it, when you're willing to jump through the hoops, what happens is, as this market becomes more accessible, because what we're moving towards is mass adoption. And mass adoption happens as this stuff becomes accessible. At the tip of your fingertip, you'll have access to all of this stuff. And once that happens, and people no longer have to jump through all these hoops, we're going to see all these assets explode. So I say all that to say, I was thinking of one experience I had back in the fall of 2017 where I did some research on this particular token. I can't even remember what it was and where I bought it, but the exchange that I bought it on, it was like you had to be a software engineer to know how to even create an account on that junk and sign in. And I mean, it was the most complicated process. I had to go through a YouTube tutorial to use this to use this exchange. And I remember dropping $2,500 on this particular token, and it was 18 cents at the time. And I remember thinking, after about 3 weeks of holding it, I remember thinking, nobody uses this exchange. There's only really, I guess, a few thousand people on here. There's no way possible that this asset is going to go anywhere or do anything. So I logged back in and I sold it, and I pulled my money out, put it into something else, some nonsense. And 3 months later, I saw that maybe 2 weeks after I had taken my money out of it, it showed up on Binance, and it exploded to $3 from 18 cents. Inaccessibility is a gift. The SEC, they gave us a gift. The gift they gave us was more time. More time to acquire more. So many other opportunities in the market. ADA, Cardano, broke up out of this trend. BCH broke out of its trend. Theta token broke out of its trend, tried to capitulate beneath, finding support on the line. tfuel broke out of its trend, its bull pennant. This one, I had some fun with this. I showed you this 3 or 4 days ago. The Dogecoin had broken out of this triangle, and I did a measured move and set the target right up here at 5 cents, and it broke up right above it. It tried to break 6 cents, and then it came back down here, and it's consolidating around 4.5 cents. Ethereum, it's cool. I don't see it 10xing from here. Litecoin will certainly 10x from here. XRP, maybe 40 to 60 to 80 to 100x from here. I don't know. The sky's the limit. Bitcoin Cash, don't sleep on this one, guys. But listen, I said all that to say this. Do your research and invest in assets that have strong fundamentals. And if you have to jump through some hoops to find those assets, consider yourself lucky, because those hoops are the reason why you're able to buy that asset at the price you are. And it's also a sign to you of the fact that when that asset becomes widely accessible, when we actually see mass adoption come into play, you're going to laugh when you remember the little hoops that you had to jump through to get it, you and I. And you're going to say it was worth it. But just remember, I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm not telling you to sell anything. I'm not telling you to do anything. I don't give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm simply sharing a perspective. This is my perspective, not yours. You don't have to take it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to believe it. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. But this is my perspective. This is what I see, and this is what I'm doing. At any rate, don't let this market get you down. Don't let it keep you up at night. Don't let it be the first thing on your mind when you wake up in the morning. You'll live a lot longer and happier of a life if you sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic signing out.